Hello, everybody. Mad Stork, 83, back again, doing a little bit of a live thing here. I haven't done anything about my buddy Randall since his big rap album release. $30 he wants for it. Please don't give him $30. Please don't give him $30 for that wellness check rap album. It was bad. But I don't know if you heard, but Randy is not going to be worrying about Turtle Boy anymore or the glare. He's turned over a new leaf. He's going to leave it alone. He's going to do his own thing. So we should just check in on him and see what's going on.
Rockin' with the idiot. You're rockin' with the idiot.
How am I doing now? People will say my internet was acting up.
No, it's just you acting up.
Just
Just going to check out Randall for a little bit here. Want to get to a couple of things. Randall, then maybe, what else? Maybe LTL too. I haven't seen Brian from LTL for a while. He's got to be living high life right now with kind of like Mike Crawford. Got a big win with these state troopers getting charged.
That's crazy. That's the crazy part about it.
All right.
Who knows what's on those photos?
Oh, who's got photos of you?
Who knows?
Okay.
Who knows? But like I said, you can pick a year in Massachusetts. So much fucking going on.
That's right.
My future ex-husband, James Jackson. Wow.
There's his 1980 drops.
Amanda said future ex-husband. And remember, people, we got goals in different area codes. Go ahead and populate them right now. Let's get the conversation moving. Let's get that conversation moving.
All right, let's get it moving.
Let's
get it moving.
Still playing a rocket for sure. How we do it. Mama Def got it.
So Randy's not going to be picking on anybody anymore. He's not going to be talking about Turtle Boy. He's not going to be doing any of that. He said he's grown up. He's going to move on. Going to do his own thing. He's got a couple of different cases he wants to talk about. So Randall is done being petty, if you believe it.
Out here in Massachusetts.
All right. Yeah, he's taking up a thing about Aaron Hernandez case. Now he's thinking that Aaron Hernandez was not guilty. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Tell us about it, Randall. Why you think?
You got to pick a year. Sean
Okay,
Ellis,
pick a
Aaron,
year.
Karen, Eddie, Francis.
Okay.
Pick a year. Any
Pick a year.
Wild times out here in Beantown.
Wild times. Oh, look at that. He's dancing to my music. Look at that, Randall. Dancing to my music. Way to go, Randall. Way to go. Look at him. Dancing to my music. I like it. A little bit behind the beat. But it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Look at it. That's part of his wellness check right there.
You know moms did her best.
Where did you go, Randall? Huh. Randall's gone. StreamYard sometimes is something else, and who knows why. But we'll try to get Randall back. Somehow we'll get Randall back. We'll get Randall back.
The idiot.
Boy.
Okay, here's Randall in a wife beating. Is that what they call those shirts?
Your main source, we ain't
I
taking
think
it
that's
now.
what they call
We
it.
out.
We don't want to listen to his music.
It's real serious.
Okay.
And they have a lot of answers 34 years later. 34 years later. And we went through this. Susan terrorists. What happened to Susan? How did it happen? How did nobody see it? To this day,
Susan.
there's a guy named Brooks, Robert Brooks. They call him Bobby Brooks. He's in another state right now. The word on the street is his boy, Bobby, I think his name. No, Bobby was Bobby Brooks, and it was Nunzo, right? Last name Nunzo.
So he's talking about a murder that happened in 1992 that he's trying to figure out. I guess he has it all figured out, but nobody's listening to him.
Joe Nunzo, if I'm not mistaken. Joseph Nunzo. Someone said he was dead. Some people are saying he's living.
Okay.
Two people who worked at the airport with Susan and Bobby Brooks smashed the radio. Nunzo threatened her. They were doing schemes. They said it was connected to the mafia. This
Okay.
case was real cold.
Real cold.
1993, her mother went inside her room, finally decided to go into the room, into Susan's room, to grab something to put on the Christmas tree, because a year went
Oh, wow.
by. She didn't have the stomach to go in the room.
So why is he wearing that shirt? Why is that in now? That is just weird. Why would he wear that? Does he think it's cool? I don't get it. I don't get that look.
He went in there to put something next to the tree
Okay.
to celebrate Susan. First Christmas without Susan. And she found the diary. And in that diary, Susan talked about how she was basically getting bullied and harassed at work. Joseph Nunzo, Robert Brooks.
You're rocking with
Jay Brill.
You're rocking with the idiot.
Jay Brill. Look at Jay Brill.
Thinking about
He's laughing. Look at him.
Yeah, it's a tragedy, bro.
Yeah, it's a tragedy,
fucking
bro.
horrible, bro. They never solved this shit. Feds involved.
Yeah.
I mean, how do
Tragedy,
you,
bro.
how's the feds involved in this shit and nothing ever happened? You know what I mean? These dudes are walking around, and they did her dirty too. They beat her up and they
I
stabbed
think
her. And they
that's a Massachusetts thing, isn't
harassed
it?
her. They intimidated her. Like she was living a scared life.
Feds don't get involved for
And
some
she
reason.
was bold to go to work. You know, all she had to do was not show up to work. But she was like, "No, fuck that. I'm going."
I'm going.
She wasn't scared of them.
She wasn't scared of them.
Scared, bro.
She wasn't scared of them.
Tough woman, you know.
Tough
Put up with
woman.
all that stuff and still do what she had to do. Take that chance.
Look at Jay Brill. He's opening up a little bit. I don't know if anybody knows that, but he's opening up more.
Sad.
Sad. Sad.
Sad. It is. And on tonight's show, we're waiting right now for Diane and Kerry. I'm sure they're getting pretty. They're doing their thing. Actually, waiting for Kevin Kev too. And
Kevy
Fez is in
Kev.
the
Where's
house. What up,
Kevy
Fez?
Kev? Let's get Kevy Kev in the house.
You know,
He's probably busy. He's busy because he's out with the scanner.
Freaking doing some weird shit.
He's
Like
out.
starting like 7 times.
He's out with the scanner.
your laptop was up.
Kevy
Dude,
Kev.
laptop
He's running
this,
around
laptop
Lynn,
this.
Massachusetts with the scanner. Scanner night.
This one, let's give some shout outs. We got
Okay.
Fez is in the building.
Oh,
We
okay.
have Natalie D, of course, Miss 808.
Miss
We got
808.
Aunt B. We
Where's-
got Becky G,
where's
of
Becky?
course. We got
Where's the money?
E-Bags is here. We got Jeep. Looking good, boys.
Okay, looking good.
Choose pieces here.
Yeah.
Making changes. Piece to the
Jay
boss,
Brill.
of course, Natalie D.
Jay Brill.
Looked up, making changes. Doing Corey and Josie Lou. She's on vacation far away. Cheryl Reed
All right.
is here. Hello, long gamers. Rocker is here. Scared
I don't know.
Our boy Dennis Sweeney, boots on the ground.
Dennis Sweeney,
Keep your
that's
shit
a
up.
piece of work.
Carrie's
You know, there's
here. She's
another
in the
one.
chat. We're just waiting on her
You know,
to pop out.
Dennis Sweeney,
Carrie's here.
Karen Reed, you know, big hugging him all the time. He hangs out on JFK's channel, and Karen Reed supposedly thinks Dennis Sweeney's the best. So Dennis Sweeney is a big part of the division, too. It's crazy that Karen Reed wouldn't run away from all these people because nobody wants to see the division. But it's crazy. He hangs out with JFK. He thinks JFK is great. I don't know. Maybe Dennis likes that shirt on JFK. Who knows?
CC is here. And remember, let's match your energy. We got goals in different area codes. Go ahead and light it up one time. And remember, if you didn't get the wellness,
You got
check
goals
out.
too? Just like Rat House Media.
Right now.
Danny, they got goals.
Buy 2 copies, or you can hit me on the Venmo.
Oh,
Right,
he wants you to buy
Venmo,
2
cash.
copies of the new stuff, that wellness check, the rap songs. He wants you to buy 2 of them, $30 a pop. It's not worth it, people. You can get it free. I'm sure he's going to have it on all the streaming stuff because it's not going to sell well. I mean, what did he get people watching it the other night when they were putting it all together, recording some of it? He got like 200 people watching. 200! And it didn't sound very good. He didn't think that out at all. He should have had the microphone set up a little bit better so people could hear more. But he did a bad job on that.
Chat, PayPal, whatever the fuck your advice might be.
It's definitely worth it.
Get with the idiot.
Put the link. You got the wrong link or something? Did I send them the wrong link? I might send them the wrong link.
What is wrong with you,
I might have sent them
JFK?
the wrong link.
See, that's
Hold
why I
on,
can't
I'm sending
watch
that
you
right now. My bad.
anymore.
It's right there. It's pinned up right now in the chat. Sorry about
See?
that. I must have sent the one from last night.
That's why I can't watch anymore, hardly. It's because you just get things wrong.
Wow.
You
That was
can't
my bad.
say,
Hold on a second. I gotta-
the other night I was going to do something with you, and you couldn't say the attorney's name, Scarpiccio. You murdered it. It was horrible. No respect at all. And now you're not even sending Kev the right link. Come on, JFK, what's going on? You put that white shirt on, and now you can't think?
hit myself with something. real
Let's
quick.
go here.
JFK. God damn, I had to clown myself.
Yeah, you did.
Wow.
Man,
Papa, happy to be with you. Yeah.
JFK, that was pretty good.
Man.
I like that.
There we go.
Get with the idiot.
Put the link. You got the wrong link or something?
See, because you
Did I
sent
send
him the wrong link.
I might have sent
you
them
might have sent them the
You
whole
sent them the wrong
I might have
link.
sent them the wrong link. Hold
You
on,
didn't
I'll
might
send
have,
that
you
right
did.
now. My bad. It's right there. It's pinned up right now in the chat.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I must have
Hit
sent the
yourself.
one from last night.
Hit yourself.
God damn, man, I fucked up. I'm sitting there wondering. Wow, that was my bad. Hold on a second. I gotta hit myself with something.
That's right. Hit yourself.
JFK. God damn, I had to clown myself, dude.
You clowned himself.
man.
Good old
Papa, happy to
JFK.
be with you. Yeah,
Jay Brill, he thinks it's funny.
there we go.
Oh boy, aren't they? They are some good people, huh? Boy, unbelievable. All right, let's watch LTL. I think that's the one I want to watch now, and we'll watch him. I believe if I can get to it, because I'm just going to share the old screen, and we'll watch the old LTL Media. If I can get to it. If I share the screen, it should come up. It should. Doesn't mean it's going to. Hang on a second. All right. We should be ready for Brian from LTL. Let's watch. I haven't talked about Brian in a while. So let's see what Brian's got to say, all right? Oh, we're starting out good. He's got his mic muted. All the time, this guy always has his mic off. Why? And then he looks like this when he's starting out. Why does it happen to him all the time? Why? Brian from LTL Media, that's who we're going to listen to now. He's got to be walking down the old hallway with his chest just puffed out because of what's going on with this case now with the state troopers being charged. He's trying to figure out why his mic's not working. Brian, come on.
You guys hear me now?
Yep, can hear you.
Let me know if you can hear me.
Yep, I can hear you. Come on.
Always good to start a show with a muted microphone, right? Let me know if you can hear me. All right, perfect. You guys can hear me. All right, cool. We're back. Thank you. Well, welcome in, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Talk Live here on the LTL Media channel. Today is April 2nd, 2026, and it is Thursday, and today was the first steps in getting justice for Enrique Delgado Garcia. We had three of the four state troopers arraigned today in Worcester Superior Court. I was up there for the arraignment, and I kind of want to go through all of that today. We'll go through the court hearing. We'll talk a little bit about Jennifer Penton, as she's been now brought up in another case that's actively going on here in the state of Massachusetts. And I'm going to show some video that I had at the end of court today that you guys probably didn't get to see, or just
watch Brian here.
Clips. We had the attorney speak, and then we had a representative of the Massachusetts State Police Association. His name is Brian Williams. He spoke at the end of court today as well too. So lots to get into today.
Okay, I know everybody picks on Brian.
Information in for you guys.
Okay,
and
I know
it was that the courtroom outside. I mean, it was inside.
Now I know everybody picks on Brian about his hair. All right, and he says that it's not hair plugs and it's not a tube. And maybe it is just his forehead. I don't know. But if you look right at that hairline, I don't know. I think it's a tube. I hate to say that. I hate to say he's lying. But look at it. I think it's a toupee. Come on, Brian. Just go back to bald. You were fine. All right? Kind of look foolish right now.
The actual courthouse itself and waiting to go into the courtroom, I mean, there was a sea of people out there. It was very split. Mass State Police on one side, a lot of their representatives, a lot of troopers there, and you could see that in the live feed, because I watched some of the live feed when I came home.
Okay.
So you kind of see that side, and then on the other side was the Delgado Garcia family and a lot of Delgado Garcia supporters. It was nice to see some familiar faces.
I thought the family didn't want him around. Now he's acting like he was best friends with everybody. Wasn't there something early on about him with the billboards and everything? The family and him were at odds?
Out there, I saw Renee Rose. I saw Peter Murphy, amongst others. A lot of people from Canton were there. And it was nice to kind of catch up with some of them and see them in the crowd supporting this case.
He's kind of a name dropper.
So, yeah, I mean, he's
kind of a name dropper. And I don't know if he does that just so he feels like he knows people that he's talking about. I don't know why he does that, but it's kind of a name dropper.
Things to get into. We're going to talk about the judge that's presiding over the case. We can talk about some of the lawyers and who their lawyers are. I don't have any information for Casey Lamont. He's being arraigned on April 14th. He's the fourth trooper that's been indicted in this matter as well, but I don't have his attorney information yet. But we'll get into this. I was live tweeting throughout the day. I was in the press box.
I missed it.
I got to use my press pass for once.
Oh, you got a press pass.
Since I've gotten it, and it was really hard to get that. You know, I tried to to apply for that many, many times. There was a lot of pushback during the Karen Reed case.
Oh, boy.
And
There
then
you go.
I found it just ironic that after Karen Reed's case ends, I got my press pass. So it's a good
One thing I'd like to know is, what do you think Karen Reed really thinks of Brian here? What do you think she really thinks? Do you think there's any text messages about that to somebody? I would like to know what she thinks of this guy. Because Brian, early on there was like blowing up pictures of her. Posters, big posters for his walls. It's kind of weird. Kind of a different kind of guy. So I don't know. I wonder what she really thinks of him.
good opportunity to use that today. I got to sit in the press box. It was live tweeting as the court proceedings were going on. I have to say, all the other press that was there were very, very nice to me. I didn't feel out of place, considering it was the first time. I just kind of followed everybody's lead and just kind of observed today in the press box. And I was talking to someone, I think they were from Channel 4 here in Massachusetts. She was very, very nice to me. And yeah,
very nice.
Used that press pass today and sat in live. So it was good to do that. It was good to take that atmosphere in and see it from, the press box and see how court kind of looks instead of, sitting in the regular crowd. But good perspectives today and a lot of learning today. So, all right, let's get into this. So I want to play through the hearing. I want to get into a lot of other things that are going on in this case, and we'll get into that.
Are you going to read to us now?
For following me on X today. I had a lot of positive feedback. I
No,
saw
you
in a lot of the
didn't.
chats today, people were mentioning that I was there and tweeting.
Come
I wanna
on.
Thank everybody for supporting me.
How many people
It's
mentioned you?
Very fast. It's very real time. You have to be quick.
Oh, yeah,
And
you
of
got to be
course,
quick.
As I'm tweeting, I forgot my glasses at home. So it
Oh,
even made it
no.
harder for me to tweet because I'm kind of like squinting in my eyes and looking. Am I spelling this?
Oh, boy. Are you going to cry? Look like you might cry. He's always, everybody gave him everybody was applauding him for what he did. He always thought, it's just like Crawford.
This right? Am I saying the right thing? But we got through it. And I was glad to be there and support the family and support this cause. So here we are. So supervisors, Massachusetts State Police Academy instructors face charges in trainee's death. So nearly 2 years, 17 months after a Massachusetts State Police recruit died during a training exercise, 3 of the 4 charged troopers were in Worcester Superior Court on Thursday in connection with his death. And I don't know if you all have ever been up to Worcester Superior. It's the first time that I've been there. It's kind of deceiving on the outside when you look at it, but when you actually go into the building itself, it is a massive court. It's huge. It's a couple different levels. We were up on the 3rd floor in courtroom 18. And like I said, before we were going in, it was massive. I kind of felt like it was at a Karen Reed hearing. There was a lot of people out in the outside the courtroom waiting to go in. And a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people got in. I think people actually got turned away. There were so many people there. The press was let in first, so I just kind of followed in.
You followed in, yeah, just like the crowd. Like,
box.
That's what you got to do when you're somebody like you, Brian.
Initially,
I told you that a long time ago. You got to act like you belong. And then you just go in. You just follow everybody in. You don't sit there and show everybody, hey, here's my press pass. I'm Brian from LTL Media, and this is my press pass. You don't do that, okay? You got to act like you've been there before. You just follow everybody in, okay? Good job, Brian. Glad you're learning. That was big for you.
Underway. So Lieutenant Jennifer Penton, announced as a lieutenant today. And from what I'm understanding, and I may be wrong here, initially she was a sergeant. I think she's sergeant lieutenant. I think that's her initial title, but they are putting lieutenant out there. So Jennifer Penton and Trooper Edwin Rodriguez, David Montanez.
I never heard of that before. Sergeant lieutenant.
Charged in voluntary manslaughter causing bodily injury. Penton was also charged
I'm not saying that's
perjury,
not.
accused of lying to the grand jury. So Penton, Rodriguez, and Montanez were the ones that were arraigned today, and they pled not guilty to the charges today. So they were released on personal recognizance.
See, that's the other thing I don't understand. Why did they get released? They're charged, but they didn't have a bail. I didn't see anything about a bail. And they just got released. What is that all about? Turtle Boy, witness intimidation, he got thrown in jail. This is part of manslaughter, and they just get released. What is going on in Massachusetts? Seriously.
Is with a condition to not have contact with any potential witnesses in this case. Lamont is going to be arraigned on April 14th, and I'm going to try to get out for that hearing for all of you
good.
as well. So Delgado Garcia
is doing it for all of us.
Exercise, and I don't know why they keep saying this in the posting, and I really wish that these mainstream media outlets would stop posting this saying in a boxing ring. There was no ring. The ring had been taken down years ago. This was on a flat mat. You can go back and watch my live stream from 4 nights ago. I do a complete overview of this case and just get all the facts correct. And I don't know why they keep saying this, but it's kind of irritating because it's very deceiving to the audience and to the people that are watching and learning about this case. There was no boxing ring. Just want to make that very clear to everybody.
You did.
So
it's clear.
Media outlets,
all right.
You're watching
got it.
This, you come across my coverage.
Move on. Got it.
Putting boxing ring.
Yeah, we got it.
It was
we got it.
The actual
no boxing
gymnasium on a flat mat.
All right.
And,
all right.
I go over that a couple of nights ago.
Okay.
So at the Massachusetts State Police Academy in New Braintree in 2024, newly submitted public documents outline the state's case, aligning which troopers charged in the case include that Delgado Garcia suffered a concussion while boxing, was allowed to box again the next day against most
better take a drink of water, Brian.
Boxer in the group. Now, I want people to understand that.
Okay.
He was allowed to box against the most experienced boxer in the group. This is a failure. This is a failure of leadership. This is a failure of evaluation. From what I've understood and what I understand from people that I've talked to, my sources tell me that instructors should be constantly evaluating physical, mental presence of the recruits or trainees.
Brian is pretty
as they go
important.
through the academy, and they should always
when
be
you can have
evenly
sources, you're important.
Exercises like this. And yes, Enrique Delgado Garcia, as far as size,
because my sources say Brian from LTL Media is an egomaniac.
He sparred with.
That's my
as
sources.
Far as experience and physicality, this trainee had a bigger presence in that fight.
All right.
So it goes on to say Delgado Garcia was knocked out and died later. Prosecutors allege that troopers engaged in wanton and reckless conduct that led to Garcia's death. And that's the thing that I want to kind of drive home with this too, is that I want people to understand that, yes, while the boxing training exercise is a huge part as to what happened to Delgado Garcia, but the failure here is leadership in supervision. And I really want to drive that home. As far as I know, and what I've learned about this, the trainee that he sparred with has not been charged with any criminal activity. Basically, he was just going through I
think it's leadership on all the cases that we hear about Massachusetts State Police. It's leadership. It's just not this one. It's the leadership through all of it. Everything we've been hearing about the MSP, it's about the leadership. So this is nothing new, Brian. You're talking about stuff it's nothing new, and you want to hit it home. We already know about that.
Training steps in this exercise, and was just being told what to do. And there were many opportunities along the way that this could have been stopped. Leadership and supervision. So anyway, I get a lot more.
So we can go back to Karen Reed.
I did a live stream. You can go.
We can go back to the Karen Reed stuff, Brian. Leadership, supervision. Leadership, supervision. Leadership, not Proctor. Supervision, definitely not Tully and Uri Buchanan. So it failed. It's been failing for a long time with the MSP. Unbelievable.
I urge everybody to go over and watch that.
All right.
Because we have a lot to go through here tonight.
Okay.
And I want to make sure that we can get through this hearing tonight too. So the quote says the department has taken steps to strengthen the training academy, including commissioning.
Well, the hearing was pretty quick
Internal
today.
Association of Chief of Police and expanding support for recruits. Massachusetts State
Hearing
Police
was really
said in a
quick.
statement when the charges were announced. Delgado Garcia, part of the 90th recruit training troop, was set to graduate less than a month after he died. Instead, he was commissioned as an oath of office and pinned with his badge in a ceremony in the hospital room. Last month, State Police Colonel said boxing is no longer being used as training and troopers will likely start utilizing jiu-jitsu training. Penton, Rodriguez, and Montanez return to court on June 16th. All right, so let's do this. Let's go to that hearing.
Let's go to it.
And we'll play through that hearing. And then I have video that I got after.
So is this Brian's studio?
Kind of took place after court
that he talked about during Karen Reed? Is this his big studio?
All right, here we go.
News. 3 of the 4 state troopers charged in the 2024 death of a recruit, Enrique Delgado Garcia, are being arraigned this afternoon. All are charged with involuntary manslaughter and causing serious bodily injury to a person participating in a training program. You'll recall Delgado Garcia died after a boxing exercise at the State Police Academy, posthumously awarded the title of trooper. Right now, inside of Worcester Superior Court, the attorneys in this case are introducing themselves to the judge.
All right, let's hear it.
3 defendants are sitting in the front row of the gallery there.
There's Nan. Great work, Brian.
Trooper Edwin Rodriguez and David.
Nan's got to take her chance to get out there and get her name out there.
I'm just going to pause this real quick and talk about the judge. So what I could get about the judge, I thought the judge was actually pretty fair today and very clear in the direction of how he wants this case to proceed. So the Honorable James Reardon was presiding over the case. I'll give you a little bit of a background. He was admitted to the Massachusetts bar in 1985. He was appointed to the Superior Court in 2016 by Governor Charlie Baker. Let's see, it says that he was a sole practitioner in Worcester from 1999 to 2016. A Worcester legal community profile adds that before taking the bench, he focused mainly on criminal defense. And this is kind of interesting factor considering what we're dealing with is personal injury law. His first practice with his father, Reardon and Reardon, that opened up his own practice in 1999. He went to St. John's High School, graduated,
I believe it.
Later attended
the source is Todd McGee.
Academy,
I believe that
College,
too.
In Georgetown University Law Center.
I do.
He's the former president of the Worcester Bar Association and having served with the Massachusetts Bar Association. So right now he's as the case.
Why does Brian have such a hard time reading sometimes?
Delgado Garcia case. So that's a little bit of a background on the judge.
As
far as the lawyers.
Okay.
So Jennifer Penton, her lawyers are Bradley Bailey and Patrick Garrity. Edwin Rodriguez is Glenn McKinley. And then David Montanez, and I'm sure you guys have heard this name before. Oh, yes. Kevin Reddington, who was Jennifer McCabe's lawyer.
Okay, yep, we heard about that. Okay, I want somebody, if they watch this later, hopefully you do, please hit the share, like, subscribe. But explain to me why, if you're going to be charged with manslaughter, why you get to walk out of court without bail. I didn't hear anything about bail. Maybe I missed it. But why did that happen? I've never heard of that before. Usually you got to bail out. But they just had to go down to probations and talk to probations before they left the courthouse. So I don't know. I'd like somebody to explain that to me, please. Please explain that.
And also Megan, I think it's Siddall, Siddall. And also you're going to hear from, at the end of the video here, the video that I shot outside, you will hear from the attorneys.
Okay.
You'll also hear from Brian Williams, and he's the president of the State Police Association of Massachusetts. They rolled deep today.
Ooh.
They had a very heavy presence at that courthouse and essentially cloaked the 3 troopers. And I can already see where the support is on the Massachusetts State Police side. They're going to support the defendants in this case. It was they were heavily guarded today. All right, let's get to this hearing.
The three being arraigned right now. A fourth trooper, Casey Lamonte, is set to be arraigned on April 14th as Jennifer Penton and the other two defendants come for their first court appearance. Let's listen.
All right.
Jennifer Penton on 2685 CR 27-1, presenting involuntary manslaughter. Ma'am, how do you plead? Not guilty or guilty?
Your Honor, not guilty.
On 26-27-2, causing serious bodily injury to a participant in a physical exercise training program.
Too many fingers
How do you
pointing
plead
at each
guilty or
other,
not
yeah.
guilty?
Not guilty.
Sounds about right.
To Edwin Rodriguez, which gentleman? On 26-28-1, involuntary manslaughter, sir. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
26-28-2, causing serious bodily injury to a participant in
So
a
if you
physical exercise
say
training
you're not
program.
guilty, that's the reason why you can just walk out?
David Montanez, 26 CR.
I never heard of that before.
29-1. Sir, on involuntary manslaughter, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
On 26-29-2, causing serious bodily injury to a participant in the physical exercise training program, sir, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? Issue is bail.
Issue is bail. Okay, I missed that. So did they put up bail? And how
I'm
much?
gonna add this too. Jennifer Penton's look today was just about as stone-faced as you're going to see here through this entire proceeding.
Is Edwin the bigger
and
guy?
after court as well too?
Yeah,
And I
he
made a
looks
lot
like
of note of-
the fighting guy.
Took a lot of note of that today while I was sitting watching.
Because Enrique was kind of, isn't that his
she
name?
was pretty
He was kind of a
stone-faced
smaller
this
guy,
entire
wasn't
thing.
he?
She's
compared
got
to
some
that
serious things
guy?
going on. There's another story that she's. come
See, I
up
don't know.
in
They
the
said
recent
something about
days
bail,
here, and we're gonna
question
talk
of
about that
bail,
here,
so
just
I don't
after the
know.
hearing. So here we go.
Yes, Your Honor. All right, I'll hear you. Judge, if it please the court, just by way of brief background, I had filed or came to file a series of documents.
Mary B.,
Your
good
Honor.
show tonight with Red House
The
Media.
documents that you had previously filed.
Good show.
I'm only saying
Love
that
watching
because,
y'all.
I don't want to.
Even had
speak
Tracy
about matters
watching
that
you
have not
tonight.
yet been filed because I know there are
Him and I were
other
texting, and he was watching you.
Okay. All right.
I apologize.
No, I understand. Why don't I see everybody at sidebar?
All right, this sidebar was like super lengthy, so I'm just gonna speed through. I remember tweeting about this like super lengthy sidebar. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Mary B., I was kind of
give me a
upset
second.
about one thing.
Ah, there you go. There's the map.
Let me
I'm actually
just
glad
put a
that this
pause on
shows
this for a
that. So
second
let's
while I
actually
explain
play
this
right
to you.
here.
Leadership.
There was one thing that really bothered me while I was listening to the show tonight. And it was stupid April, my internet girlfriend. She lost her senses for just a second. And she goes, well, I don't listen to country music. And she had that deep a voice, too, just so you know. Was not happy about that at all. Does not listen to country music. Mary B., if you tell me you don't listen to country music, I'm really going to be upset.
This boxing training program no longer exists. They've completely suspended it, which of course seems like a wise move. But Michael, the leadership of this organization
I caught it.
Quite something to manage here with 4 of their own charged in relation to the death of a police recruit. They still got to do their jobs every day inside the Massachusetts.
Yeah, I think
State
the big
Police.
guy
This
is
has
the-
gotta be disruptive.
Is the guy.
There's no doubt it's disruptive, and it's another potential black mark on the state police here.
I think
You know,
the
fact
bigger
is,
guy
over
was the
last few
big
years,
boxer. I
they've
think
taken a
he's the
number of
guy.
hits which have led to the public level.
And maybe
Yeah, I want to.
But I really wanna know
here. This is the actual
why
map.
they
You know
would
why
walk
keep
out
saying
if they're
boxing ring?
charged.
There's no boxing ring there. This is the.
I
map
don't
we're talking
understand how they
about.
can just walk out of court.
After this incident occurred,
'Cause
back in
nobody's talking
September
about bail at this point.
2024, Colonel Jeff Noble took over at Massachusetts State Police, the first hire
Yeah, this
to
Noble
lead
has
the
not done
organization
anything
from outside of
with
the
MSB.
organization, and within his
That is it right there. That's the gymnasium that this happened in. There's no boxing ring there. And I don't
So-
know why they keep saying there's a boxing ring.
Mary B. and
No boxing.
first
and
thing
others
he's
that'll
dealing
watch
with
this.
issue.
Is Massachusetts really this bad? I mean, I remember back in, God, I think it was 1987 or 88. Yeah, I'm old. But I went out for a job interview in Boston. And I kind of liked the area. It was a nice area. But now I'm watching all this stuff, and it's like, is it really that bad? Because I didn't think it was that bad when I was out there. But, I mean, there's stuff that dates back a long time ago, some shady stuff.
You go right there. There's the center of the mat. Took place in this gymnasium.
Full-blown investigation that took many months to complete. But now this person from outside the agency is trying to
taking the fifth on not listening to country music. Mary B. Disappointing.
Oh, sure. But, a fresh set of eyes to a long-standing problem does bring a different perspective and hopefully is able to restore the luster that the state police once had in the Commonwealth. Because the fact is they do a very difficult and dangerous job. But unfortunately, over the last few years, we don't know them to prove, assuming the evidence supports the charge that she knowingly made false statements and that what she knew and what she didn't know, that may not necessarily be as easy to.
That's about how Jennifer Penton looked all day, right there, that stone-faced look that I was talking about. Let's see.
Wow.
Let's keep playing here.
At least the indictment would tend to indicate.
Michael, not long ago, you and I were talking about the case in Suffolk County of Boston police officer Nick O'Malley, who's accused of using
but the seafood is delicious.
In the apprehension of a suspect.
Okay. Now that we got that taken care of.
Nick O'Malley was arrested and brought into court to face that charge.
I hope you don't put no Buffalo Wild Wing sauce on that seafood.
Michael, we learned of these indictments back in early February, and this is the first appearance of these officers. What should I think about the difference in those two cases?
Well, it's curious, as you no doubt imagine from the question itself. This one, I think, is going to be difficult ultimately to move forward and to obtain a conviction with, because these were long-standing practices. The question of to what extent he had that concussion and to what extent it impacted him, that's going to be a key issue in this case.
All right, let's go back inside the courtroom in Worcester. The judge
I was having a discussion with the attorneys because some things that have been requested by the Commonwealth might be objected to by defense counsel. And I had to make some preliminary rulings and make some preliminary guidance about what I thought about that. Obviously, if there's something that's objectionable or isn't supposed to come into evidence, I can't have it discussed in open court when it shouldn't have come into evidence. I want it to be very clear. Everything that was said on sidebar was recorded on our recording system. It is available to the public. It is available to the media. It is not impounded. But that was necessary to make some preliminary thoughts about what could and couldn't be discussed. Public has some.
I'll get that audio.
Interesting.
Right to object to some information becoming public at this point. We're trying to manage the case appropriately. So
yeah, I saw that Jennifer was on the Boston Finest. That's an interesting thing, too.
Right, but I don't know what I'm going to hear until I hear. All right, let's proceed.
It's funny. You just see like the difference in dynamics here. Where we sat through, 2 trials of Judge Bev and never explained any of the sidebars. And then we take a look at this judge today, Judge Reardon, and here he is. I mean, he's addressing the court. He's talking to the public. He's letting them know what happened in sidebars. I mean, it's just a different dynamic, a very different dynamic than we're used to. All right, let's keep playing here.
Thank you, Your Honor. I had
so the people that'll watch this later, Mary B.
suggested to the clerk's office that it was my
Boston's in
intention
here.
to file, certain
So does he have a
documents, Your
toupee,
Honor, and
Brian?
I might,
Is it a toupee or am I
those
wrong?
Documents are,
I really need to know. I know his
Commonwealth's
forehead's really
case,
high. I get that.
Commonwealth's notice of discovery,
But
the Commonwealth's motion for failure
boy, it
and
looks like a
reasonable
toupee.
bail,
I don't
the
know.
Commonwealth's motion for a protective order together with a proposed order, and the Commonwealth's preliminary statement.
That's your
according
county?
to General Laws, Chapter 276, Section 56A. Respectfully, Your Honor, those items, to the extent.
So it is a
Your Honor,
toupee. He says it's not, but man, it's got to be.
themselves. With respect to the Commonwealth's motion for fair and reasonable bail.
It bothers me.
motion is
And I don't know
filed,
why, but it bothers me.
requests for, strike that, I apologize, request on behalf of the Commonwealth that the defendants be released on personal recognizance. There are 3 additional requests.
It's funny that Brian's not taking a victory lap with all this right now.
3 additional requests
Talking about
the
himself
defendant
more.
shall
Maybe
refrain from participating
I didn't watch
in
this
any
before.
manner
Maybe
in
he
any
does
training
later. I don't know.
activities involving boxing and or any similar quote.
But you'd
physical
think he'd be
confrontation exercises, whether as
doing
a
that.
supervisor, instructor, teacher, coach, or otherwise. Given the conversation that was recorded at sidebar,
Could be a hair
I'm
growth
asking the court to
transplant.
take no action on that second request.
But would it have that
Or,
flap if it was a hair
if
growth
the court prefers,
transplant?
I will affirmatively withdraw.
I
that
thought they
request.
make sure they
The third
tape that
request
like
in the
really to your
Commonwealth's
head.
motion for fair and reasonable bail,
Because this is kind of like lifting
is that
up.
the defendant shall have no
Like if there
contact,
was
direct
like
or
wind
indirect with
right
any
there
of
in
the
his
potential
studio,
witnesses in the
I think
case.
it would flip right
The
up.
Commonwealth will provide the court and counsel for the defendants with a list of such witnesses. The list shall be
There are
impounded
photos
and
of
shall be
what?
subject to the general protective order
His
that the
toupee.
Commonwealth asks the court to issue.
Now, keep in mind, there's 150 witnesses that were interviewed, or over 150 witnesses.
I mean, it could be a
I think
transplant.
it's about that. 350 exhibits. That witness list is huge.
Huge.
And who do you
Huge.
think predominantly is on that list? State troopers. So it's like, who's going to talk? Who's going to share information? You know?
Oh,
what
yeah,
I mean?
I know
That's the
he
thing
was
you start
bald.
Thinking about
Like
who's gonna
during the
talk,
Karen
who's gonna
Reed
share
first trial, he
information.
was bald.
This is going to get messy. This
See,
is going to be the case to watch.
I got to tell you,
It's going to be
with
the
Brian,
case to watch. Trust me.
I knew. This is when I knew Brian was off. That he was a fraud. He is kind of a fraud, and I'm sorry if you like him. I'm sorry, but this is when I knew. Tommy CPU was filming, and he asked. It was during the first trial, and Karen Reed and her lawyers. Remember how they used to park on the side, and they'd walk into court. Well, Tom CPU wanted Brian to do something. And Brian was like right where the area where they parked their Escalades and their Tahoes. And Tom CPU wanted him to come out of that area and go with him somewhere, and I don't know what it was about. But Brian goes, I'm going to stay right here so I don't get kicked out. And the reason why I say that he's a fraud just with that statement is that's an old statement, like when you're in radio and you go to concerts, and they always say that act like you belong if you're backstage and you're meeting the star of the concert. Act like you belong and you'll get a chance to say, stay there a little bit longer. Or they'll also say, be the last one in line to meet, to get your autograph and all that, and you get more time. It's a lie. You don't. It's better just to go up there and just talk to them and get the chance to talk to them, and they'll take their time. I mean, if you're interesting, if you're a putz, no, they're going to get rid of you. So, but I knew right then when he said, no, I'm going to stay right here so I don't get kicked out. Good old Brian making that snap decision.
As I stated in the recorded conversation with counsel in the court at sidebar, the basis in large part for that request.
I like Tommy
are
too.
the facts and circumstances of this case as described in the Commonwealth statement of the case. The fourth and final request in the Commonwealth's motion for fair and reasonable bail is that each of the defendants surrender any and all firearms in their possession, custody, or control. And is the case with item number 2 of the Commonwealth's request, given the conversation
I think
at
he's a loser
sidebar
too.
with counsel in the court, on behalf of the Commonwealth, I would ask that the court at this time
Yes.
take no action on that request as well.
And what about those posters, those
With respect
enlarged
to the
posters he
Commonwealth
made
motion for protective
of
order,
Karen?
for the reasons set
And then he
forth
had-
in the facts
I mean, he
and
was putting them up in his
circumstances which are articulated in the Commonwealth
studio.
statement of the case.
I mean,
I would respectfully suggest to the court
that was
the
weird
motion and the proposed
in my
order,
book.
are fair, reasonable,
Karen has to have an
appropriate
opinion of
given the
this guy.
circumstances of this case. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. So just to elucidate a little bit what's going on at sidebar, counsel for the defendants, or at least some of counsel for some
Very
of the defendants,
unlikable.
objected to the Commonwealth statement of the case being filed. I have admitted the statement of the case. I want it to be understood this is not evidence. It is simply the Commonwealth's outline. What they see have a brief outline of they intend the case to be. It's not evidence. It's not binding. It won't be admitted at trial. It's simply an outline of what's happened sort of so far and an explanation of the Commonwealth's reasons for going forward. So,
well, where's the evidence?
Filed in every case, but this is a case of high public interest.
How can you charge
allowed that document to be
anything without evidence? That makes no sense.
Defense counsel. With regard to the Commonwealth's motion to admit defendants to fair and reasonable bail, Attorney Meyer just went over that. I have indicated at sidebar, and I'm indicating again on the record, I will not impose condition number 2. The defendant shall refrain from participating in any manner in any training activities involving boxing and or similar physical confrontation exercises, whether as a supervisor, instructor, teacher, coach, or otherwise. Bail is to ensure that the defendants will appear in court. This is not a dangerousness hearing. That is a separate statute, chapter 27658A.
So AZ's asking, I'm curious about what kind of boxing credentials the defendants have. So I can tell you this. Edwin Rodriguez has an amateur boxing background.
How does somebody like Brian from LTL Media, I'm so new to YouTube, all right? Yeah, Tracy and I, in our sports thing, we put a little bit to YouTube, but we were doing it mostly on Facebook. But how does LTL Media, Brian, get 60,000 subscribers? I don't get it. Him and Crawford. Because they were around with the Karen Reed trial, you know, at the right time? Is that? But 60,000 subscribe to this guy. How does it happen? That's not jealousy. I'm just wondering how it happens. What did he do to get that? I mean, what was his shows about?
He's actually a pretty good amateur boxer. We've played some of his footage here on the channel. I know he has boxing experience. The thing that you're actually going to hear that's even makes this case worse, and it was kind of weird that the attorney touched on this.
Crawford was definitely better.
Jennifer Penton, or it could have been the president of the Massachusetts State Police Association.
But Brian
talked about having
sure is a man. I mean, come on,
the National Boxing Association.
That's
that was
what
actually
I guess that's what it was. But
supervising this fight.
I just don't. I don't get why
a lot worse.
Anybody would listen to him.
Person wasn't charged. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure all that out. But you're going to hear.
I know. I'm listening to him now.
And I
haven't listened to him in a while.
A lot worse, because if this person's supervising and has this credited, credential of being part of.
I didn't know that
association,
LTL was.
That just makes it worse.
Evan Betterow too.
Okay, let's keep playing here.
I guess I was watching Crawford. LV Cops too, Mary B. I didn't know.
And so that has nothing to do with them appearing here in court. And I would not.
Interesting.
Condition number 4 says the defendant shall surrender any and all firearms in their possession, custody.
60,000. That's a lot of people.
I'm not the licensing authority. I do not control who has or does not have a firearm. This is not a domestic violence case. It is not what we call a dangerousness case. Chapter 276, Section 58A. This court is not the licensing authority.
That's a big question.
I have the authority to impose that condition. There are Second Amendment issues, and so I will not impose it. Those discussions were had at sidebar. I will hear from counsel about the motion.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Protective order. I did indicate generally that I was inclined to impose it, but counsel may have objections they want to put on the record in open court. Any order I make regarding the protective order will be, at this point, only not binding for further decisions as the case plays out. There may be reasons to modify that protective order, but we can't foresee the entire future at the short arraignment proceeding. All right. I don't know who wishes to address the court first on behalf of the defendants.
Your Honor, on behalf of Lieutenant Penton.
That came after he was on LTL. Just the whole super chat thing.
The protective order.
Interesting.
In our opinion, in terms of the restrictions that are imposed on what we can show our clients and how we can show it, and other aspects, are unduly burdensome unnecessary and respectfully inappropriate. This is not a case where witnesses have been intimidated. This is not an organized crime case involving the Cosa Nostra. This is a case
Cosa Nostra.
we have a voluminous
I thought that was dead in Boston.
to say that our clients may not have the discovery themselves and can't be trusted with it must come to our law offices. From a practical purpose, likely with the volume of materials, result in them having to come to our
Well, him and
office
Crawford lost some people. There's no doubt about that.
the next year. That's impractical, it's unwieldy, and it's wholly restrictive of the attorney-client relationship.
And I'm not saying this just because Mary B's here, but I would rather watch Danny and everybody
How attorneys are
and have fun that way than have this guy. I mean, just look at him.
materials on that.
He's stiff.
Are all familiar and experienced with handling grand jury materials.
I don't know.
And placing those materials under seal when we attach them.
I think it's about having some fun too. I mean, you got to report the serious stuff. Don't get me wrong,
Is so
but
restrictive as to be completely
he takes himself way too serious. Way too serious. Him and Crawford.
It's not consistent with this particular case.
Randall, I don't know what Randall does at JFK. I don't know if he takes himself serious or he just thinks everybody's dumb.
My co-counsel has stated these are good people. These are good people. These are not people that are violent. They're not, certainly, as we would say, mafia.
Kevin Reddington, isn't that that's Jen McCabe's lawyer? These people aren't serious. These people aren't bad people. They just beat the hell out of them.
I agree that it is very onerous. I've been through the dealings with the protective orders. It's horrible. I mean, people cannot get access to their own discovery. They have to come to the attorney's office, as he said, sit down and look. It's very, very restrictive, and I think it's somewhat. When you have your due process.
Yeah, there's no smiling from this guy.
Like I said,
He smiles when Nan's on, though. When Nan's on and giving him $500, $499.
At their own home and review their.
I'd smile too, though. Nan wants to give me $499. I'd take it.
Let me kill on behalf of Eileen Rodriguez. Your Honor, I echo my co-counsel. We've obviously.
So this is the lawyer for the guy that everybody believes was boxing.
Completely unnecessary.
Enrique.
Protective order. There's absolutely no need for it. There's no.
Why is he moving his head so much?
And this is just not the case.
Look at that.
We need to have the restrictions that would result in a logistical nightmare of getting the client.
Stop it.
With evidence that the government says that they have. So for all those reasons that were presented to the court, both here and side.
Wow.
We would object to the protective order. With respect to the statement of case, Your Honor, I also would like to note my objection to that as well. I believe that has nothing to do with the bail determination by the court, given the fact that the counsel for the government has indicated that there was.
Nan did buy her way in. Started with the glare and then hanging out with glare and Turtle Boy. There she is. Oh, you knew she was coming.
For the purposes of the court's edification only. Well, quite frankly, I don't think that's a sufficient basis for putting.
Nan thought she was going to be a betero.
Into the public domain. In particular, Your Honor, we have not been provided discovery. Had we been provided discovery and they've sought to file this a month from now, we could have responded with our response.
This guy, he hasn't stopped his head movement since he started.
We are unable to do that because we're literally just getting discovery today. So I would suggest it's unfair. It's unfair to put that information out there. I'd ask it be filed under seal.
All right. I understand the objections of defense counsel, and certainly some of them are well-founded. Public has some right to know what's going on in this case. After balancing that right.
She actually gave you guys $100 though? Wow. Then she hated on you.
Obviously, yeah. I think it is appropriate in a case of this interest to have some statement of the case filed. As I said before, it isn't binding. It isn't evidence.
He's got to have some medical issues.
Trial. And I didn't find it to be inflammatory in any way. So I am
See,
going to allow
it was freaking me out too, and I'm not even stoned.
Counsel's objection. With regard to the protective order,
That head
I am going
moving.
to endorse the protective order it is appropriate. Again, at this point, council makes reference to being hamstrung for a year. I am not expecting the.
Hey, Mikey, good job streaming today.
Oh,
Thank
boy.
you. Thank you for streaming it for everybody.
Crawford
it was good to see that you streamed this.
entered
today.
the
You got
chat.
involved. I appreciate that.
Of course.
'Cause I think that we can bring a voice to this case.
Oh, boy. Him and Mikey.
He is very measured. And again, I want to go back because I just hear a lot of bullshit surrounding this case, and I just want to make sure that I clear this up, okay? I need you guys to understand. This is
that's something I don't understand either, that monetized stuff and what happens when it gets taken away.
This was a boxing training exercise, and the people that are being charged in this case were supervisors, and they had the opportunity many, many times, even the day before, when Enrique complained about concussion-like symptoms and said, and the quote that I heard was, "My head just doesn't feel right." And he went to them.
Well, I know she don't like being not welcomed.
Which I'm assuming,
you got to fall all over
getting the
Nan.
perjury charge
You have
on her
for her to be liked, and for her to like you.
Went and complained, and then was allowed to participate the next day. There were many, many times along the way this could have been stopped, even during the match.
Here we go. The match.
There were multiple times that this could have been stopped, and it was allowed to continue. And again, I urge everybody.
You wrote her song, oh boy,
and watch my overview of this case.
Did Danny play it?
Clarify a lot of the rumors and the bullshit that's being put out there. Okay, let's keep playing on.
Protective order to remain in effect as it is for a year. But as we just stated, you're just getting discovery. The court hasn't seen discovery. It doesn't know what's in there or not in there that might be relevant to the protective order.
How does the court not know what the discovery is? What? I don't get this.
Certainly have experienced counsel here who knows how to handle a protective order. I have troopers here who hopefully have some experience, and I assume have some experience with handling evidence. But this is a case in which
now that was big there. Did you guys all catch that?
Family, relatives,
did you catch that?
Or other people may not handle the evidence with the same degree of care.
He said, I have troopers here that know how to handle evidence, I would think. We know that's not true.
Just going to bring this up. Karen says, I heard that the older troopers were watching and placing bets on the match. I can tell you, in my very credible sources, I have not heard that. So I don't know who's putting that out there. And I don't know if you have a source that's told you that's close to the investigation or knows something about this. But from my understanding, I have not heard that.
Brian has not heard that. I have
not verified anything like that. And maybe that does come out in this trial, in this discovery. I don't know. But I just want to urge people to be very careful about what you hear, because there's a lot of misinformation brought up about this case. Okay, let's keep playing here.
The participants would, and I have some concern about that. I also want to indicate,
like the aneurysm thing. Oh, he had an aneurysm.
You
didn't
heard
have
it.
an aneurysm.
He didn't hear it though.
When the medical report came out,
Brian
it
didn't hear
wasn't
it.
an aneurysm.
If Brian didn't hear it,
forced trauma. Like
his sources didn't tell him.
So there was no indication of an aneurysm. So that was a wrong rumor that was put out there initially when this all started.
Is it me, or did I hear that the family didn't want Brian around? Was that true?
How can you determine that when there's not even a medical report out there that's
like after the billboards or something? Wasn't there something about that came out that the family wasn't real happy with Brian? I thought I heard that. Not sure. Maybe I just wasn't happy with Brian and just thought that.
And then it took, a couple months for that medical examiner's report to be put out there. And then guess what? Come to find out, bam. Oh, that rumor was wrong.
Mary B., you wrote that song for Tom CPU's the intro?
Gets discovery and has more
really?
Objections.
Wow.
Some specific individuals or individuals.
Tracy and I should have you write us one.
Not allowed to contact or be in touch with. We can address that at that time. At some point, obviously, these restrictions may be loosened as the case becomes.
You deleted it.
More specific.
Could have been a hit, I bet.
That is only being imposed at this time.
As much as some people hate her, dislike her, probably would be a hit.
Officer Lamont, who isn't here today, but again, in order to protect the rights of everyone, I will impose that order until that arraignment is done. All right, over the objection of defense counsel. All right. Is there anything else we need to address? We need another date.
I have to be available.
Yes.
To each individual, you are released on PR with the following conditions: to have no contact, direct or indirect, with any potential.
That's
witness in the
mind-blowing.
case. The list will be provided to the Commonwealth, and this list will
They
be
talked about
filed
no
with the
money,
Judge.
no bail.
And that's without prejudice. To each defendant, you are hereby notified that if you fail without sufficient excuse to appear in court after being released on recognizance, may be punished by a fine of up to $10,000 or imprisonment
Wow,
for a year, both in the case of
$10,000.
misdemeanor, and in the case of a felony,
Manslaughter.
be fined up to $50,000 or imprisonment for 5 years or both.
Wow.
Understand that to each defendant, yes? Yes.
See, I don't understand that.
And you are further notified that if you are charged with a new crime during the period of your release, your bail may be revoked and you may be
Release.
held without bail for a period up to 90 days. Does each defendant understand that?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
And do we have a next date? And probation's gonna need to see each one of them before they leave today.
See?
Mr. Laughlin, right?
Sent them down to probations, but they didn't ask him for any money for bail. This is crazy.
So there was headgear. There was protective headgear worn. There were gloves worn. Again, I want to make sure that we're very clear about all of this. I don't want these rumors to be spread and put false information out there of what actually happened.
Okay, Brian.
For this family, his mother, Sandra, is devastated over this.
Well, anybody would be, Bri.
Absolutely devastated over this.
She lost a son.
This family has not been able to rest over the last 17
The
months.
goofiness.
And you can see the anguish and pain in their heart that they have to go through this. So that's why I'm being very protective of this, and I want to make sure that you guys get the clearest information on this case.
Okay, Brian, you give us to us, all right?
So yes, there was protective headgear worn, and there were gloves worn. As far as the weight, I don't know what they are. I could probably find out.
You need to
for
put some
you.
protective
I don't know if
headgear
they're
on that
12-ounce
hair.
gloves, 8-ounce gloves,
So it doesn't flop
Probably
up.
12, because those are the most padded. I don't know. Maybe do they go up to 16 ounce? I don't know, but I probably could find out.
They
I'll
probably
work on
go up to 16 ounce. Oh, what happened to Brian? What happened to him? He just dropped out.
I don't know what happened, but I just got kicked out of StreamYard. StreamYard's being wacky.
All right.
But there was headgear worn. Okay,
All right.
let's keep playing here.
Okay.
Have to keep in mind, it was matched with the most skilled boxer. And what did I talk about? Evaluation should be happening on day one when trainees or recruits come through that door.
We heard that already,
They should be
Brian.
constantly evaluated for physical and mental acuity. And they should always be even matched in their matches if they have any type of peer-on-peer contact. And that did not happen here in this case. Again, Rike, physically larger in this. Physically larger in this boxing training exercise. But his opponent had a hell of a lot more skill.
I know, but this is Friday, Monday. June 16th, Madam Clerk.
For pre-trial conference, yep.
Yes.
June
16th,
16th.
And probation needs to see one downstairs. Please report to probation on the first floor before you leave.
May our clients be excused from the initial pre-trial, or does this?
Any objection to that?
None, Your Honor.
They may be excused for the initial pretrial.
Thank you. June 17th. Yes,
I'll find out.
Brian's on it. He's going to find out.
June 16th. Yeah.
All right, let's get to it, Brian. Let's hear some more of your stuff before I quit you.
Massachusetts state police officials.
So you're just going to let the TV do his talking?
So Lana, you know what you can do? You can just stop watching. You can just go away.
Ooh.
I'm making sure that things are here and they're factual, that we squell a lot of the rumors that happen in this case. I don't really care that you're telling me on my fucking show to stop bitching. I'm not bitching. I'm explaining and I'm being firm. Because there are a lot of rumors out there.
What is it?
Case, and a lot of theories that have been out there that are wrong. Zero wrong.
What is the deal
Everybody threw all these rumors
with
out
him and Crawford yelling at people? I mean, I realize people piss you off and say stuff and all that, but why even recognize it then? Why? Why get upset about it? Just let it go. Don't bring it up. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Find out when the medical examiner's report came out. Oh, wrong on that. Everybody's saying, "Oh, headgear's not worn." Wrong on that too.
Okay, they're
So
all
just
wrong.
Don't watch my show. Go away.
Okay, don't watch.
How about do this? I'm just going to help you.
I don't watch your show. I did tonight because I hadn't watched it in a long time.
And that's
and I thought you'd be taking your victory lap.
Have a good night.
You're kind of taking your victory lap.
Anyway, let's move on.
All right, let's move on.
Of recruit Enrique Delgado
Why are you
Garcia.
Why are you letting the TV talk for you right now, Brian?
Charge of involuntary
You know so
manslaughter
much about this
causing
case.
serious bodily
Why are you
harm.
letting this go on?
In the case of Lieutenant Jennifer Pettin, she also faces a charge of perjury.
Perjury.
As people file out of the gallery there, it is worth noting this was a very packed courthouse for an arraignment, which is unusual. In fact, I'm not sure they were able to get everybody into the room who wanted to watch this.
Yeah,
in
he
person.
was a lot
It's an
smaller
indication
than
of
that
how
bigger guy that
high-profile this case
is charged, who I believe was probably
State police
watch the drama.
the boxer.
Are charged in
Watch
the
the
death
drama.
of a Massachusetts State Police recruit.
Oh,
Let's
man.
bring in NBC 10 Chief Legal Analyst
Mary
Michael
B, did,
Corey now,
Brian
just
ever
to
like
walk
you
us
guys?
through what you observed during that.
All right, I'll play a little bit of this, the legal analyst, and then I'll play what I got outside of court today when all the lawyers left, all the defendants left, and then we'll hear from Brian Williams, who's the president of the State Police Association of Massachusetts.
Arraignment, Michael, which was stunning in a way in that these three are charged with involuntary manslaughter, and the judge doing his best to respect the amount of interest in this case, but also to protect the interests of the defendants.
Well, and that's really the key going forward is you want to protect the rights of the defendants to a fair trial. That's constitutionally guaranteed. The problem with these high-profile cases is you have an awful lot of interest from the media. The public really wants to know much more of the information that pertains to the case itself. So the court has to really carefully balance the interest of the public and the interest of the...
I want to give a lot of credit to Renee Rose. I see her here in the chat. Renee, it was really good to see you today and catch up with you today. And you have been championing for this family for the past 17 months as well. And what you've done down there on the ground, I really want to commend you for that. I know you were out there today early, standing out for Enrique with his family and other supporters that were there. I saw, some of the Canton crew there that stood out for Karen. It's nice to see everybody there. And you've done a phenomenal job. You guys are out there, wearing shirts and supporting the family. And, I really admire you for doing that.
He's going to cry.
Thank you for doing that.
He's going to
His
cry.
family really needs this.
This is
His
where he
family's
cries.
hurting. People don't understand. They are crushed over this, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Enrique was
We all know
everything
that.
to that family. He was.
There it
And
is.
it's crushing to see the looks on their faces having to go through this nightmare for their family. So,
It
Renee,
is.
thank you. All right, let's hear a little bit of this.
The free press, the First Amendment, to be able to examine our court process.
All right.
But also,
I've been listening to
against
this
the-
for over an hour, and I'm sorry. I just don't think I want to listen to it anymore. But I was thinking about doing a little bit of untwisted tragedies. I just landed on that butte. But I would have to get into character to talk about her. I'd have to put this on. And I'm going to tell you right now, this thing is really hot. And I think I'd pass out if I had to put it on and talk about her for any length of time. So I think we'll wait on the untwisted tragedies. I think we'll wait on that. So And the people that will watch this and watch Red House Media, this is what I want to do. I've been picking on Danny in the chat because Danny wants to buy a Shure SM7B microphone. It's like a $400 microphone. And he needs to quit thinking about that microphone. It's overrated. Mary B., if you're still here. Now, what he needs to look up, I got microphones like crazy, all right? And the microphone that I'm using now is a Lauten, Lauten, LS208. It's a little bit better than a Shure SM7B, but it's in that same line. Now, we can go to let's try these other ones out. So we'll try out some microphones. So everybody can go back to Rad House Media when they're back on and tell Danny that Mad Stork did the mic checks just for him. Mic check to the gods. Mic check to the gods. Just to give him an idea what the best microphone will be for him. All right. This one, like I said, is the Lauten LS208. And let's turn that one down. All right. This one is the RE20, Electro Voice RE20. Now you can hear right away the difference in the microphones. Now this is a little bit better than the Shure SM7B, but it's a broadcast mic. This one here. This one is used in radio stations, just like the SM7B is. This one is used the same way. All right. This one is a very good mic for YouTube and other things like that. Okay, so that's a good mic. So let's go to the next one. This one again is the Electro Voice RE20. Big radio mic. This one is a little bit more expensive. So Danny's probably not going to want this one. This one runs, the one I'm using right now, runs for about $1,000. So Danny's probably not going to go out and get that unless he gets a lot of people hitting the goals. Then he probably will. But this is probably one of the better mics for everything. This mic here, I use in my everyday work, where I do commercial voiceovers for my livelihood. So this is what I use a lot in the commercial voiceovers. This one is called the Sennheiser MKH 416. So it's a great mic. It's a great voiceover mic. It's called the Hollywood mic. Hollywood mic. And I like it. I use it a lot. But I also like that Lauten LS208. All right. So now we'll go to the most expensive mic I own that I use also in my commercial business. And this is what I refer to as my Randall mic. This on the market is kind of a rap mic, but it's great for voiceovers. And so I use this a lot also. 50-50 between the last mic that I used and this one, 50-50. But on the YouTube stuff, I use just that first mic that I use. But this one here, I don't think Danny will buy either, because he would really need to hit a lot of goals. Because this mic here is about $4,000. And it is, like I said, a good voiceover mic, good rap mic, good singing mic. I don't sing, but I do use it a lot. And so it's a good mic, a good one. But like I said, if you listen to the Lawton sounds really good. And it's like $600. So, but I do use this one. And like I said, the other one that I put away. So let's go back to the Lawton. And this is the one that I like to use for YouTube. So those are the mics, all right? So you tell Danny, don't do the Shure SM7B. Do not share this with him. Somebody share this with him and tell him to go to the end of it where I talk about the mics. And tell him to check out the Lawton mic in the RE20. I know he knows a lot about microphones because he said he owned bars or something and he had to get a lot of audio equipment and everything. So, and I know he's using like a little Rodecaster Pro mixing board and a little Rode mic, which I have one of those too. I just don't use it. It's like $100 one, I think it is, $125. So, but like I said, this Lawton for the YouTube stuff, this Lawton LS208 is really a great mic. So, Danny from Radhouse Media talking to you about microphones. This is what I suggest. So, everybody that checked this out, everybody that came in, everybody that's going to check this out, please like, share, subscribe. Got to get some more people in to subscribe. And we're going to do more live stuff. I'm going to do more live stuff. I got somebody that's going to come on and help me starting next week. I think we're going to do it. And no, it's not going to be Tracy. Tracy and I are going to stick to our sports. But we'll have another one coming up between Tracy and I. It'll be the week before the NFL draft, which will be in Pittsburgh at the end of April. And we'll do a show on our Over the Line. And that'll be, like I said, a week before the draft. And then Tracy has to get moving because then he has a couple of shows with Blake at the end of the month. And then he goes to Vegas for 3 weeks. And then all of a sudden the summer concerts start. And I think I'm going to be heading to Vegas in May. And then I'll also get a chance to see him in Chicago in July. I think that's the next one I'll go to. Because I think they're in July 12th, maybe. I think it's right around there. They're in Chicago, Blake is. So Tracy will be busy. But then our shows will start up after the draft and everything. Our shows on Over the Line will start up in July. Because we start right around the NFL summer camp starts. Excuse me. And then we'll get ready for the season, and then we'll get going. And what we do there is we talk all sports. We talk sports, but then I also give them a rundown of what I've been doing during the week. And we usually meet on Mondays. Sometimes we'll meet on Tuesdays, depending on the schedule. But so that's when we'll do the over-the-line stuff. And I know some people have asked me, why do we call it Over the Line? Well, Tracy and I, we like to go sometimes out, and then we get into like dart games in the bar, throwing the darts. And me being in a wheelchair, the dart game, it's legal for me to have my front wheels over the line. And we played in a bar, and some guys got so mad at us because we were beating them. They started complaining because my front wheels were over the line. So that's how we came up with Over the Line. And we also wrote a movie about that. We did a whole, wrote it up, still trying to sell it. And it's basically where we go out on the road all the way to the championship in Las Vegas playing darts. And it's a pretty good storyline. It's a comedy. So we'll get to talking about that too again, so everybody can hear some of the funny stuff that we got planned for that. So a lot of things coming up, but like I said, we'll do more about, this isn't really going to be about true crime stuff. I'm not going to get into a lot of the true crime stuff. I'm still going to be like picking on people, but JFK, he announced last night that he is no longer worrying about Turtle Boy, The Glare, Randall Media, nobody. He's not worried about anybody no more. So I want to see how long he does that. Because I had said that if he stopped doing that, that I would quit picking on him. So do I quit picking on him? I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure he's going to be on late tonight. We'll see what he's got to say about everybody. So thanks again, everybody, for checking in. Mary B., Boston, I appreciate it very much. Please hit the like, the share. Mary B. and everybody from the Rat House Media, from the Chat Rats, you guys have been great with telling people to subscribe, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's been fun hearing from people and what they think, and I really appreciate that. I really do. Have yourself a great Friday and a great weekend, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.